Welcome back to my channel. Today, we will delve into the powerful and emotional storyline that has recently unfolded in CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful, where love, loss, and the unresolved feelings between Steffy, Liam, and Finn converge in a heart-wrenching yet beautiful moment. This chapter showcases Liam's terminal illness, Steffy's sacrifice for the sake of his happiness, and the profound connection that remains between her and Liam despite the passing years and changing circumstances. In a recent episode, Steffy and Liam shared an intimate moment, remembering the beautiful memories they had once built together. As they reminisced about the past, of their marriage, their struggles, their joys, they shared a passionate embrace. It was clear that the connection between them had never fully faded, despite the years of separation and the complex relationships that had followed. The raw emotion in the scene highlighted how deeply Steffy still cared for Liam, even as she was now married to Finn and building a life with him. The truth, however, was that Steffy knew their time together had always been fleeting, and now, with Liam's worsening condition, those precious moments were even fewer. Liam, weakened by the tumor growing in his brain, found the courage to finally confess something he had been holding back for years. He admitted to Steffy that he still loved her. This wasn't a passing feeling or a temporary wish, it was the truth, one that had lived inside him all along. Liam had always wanted to be with Steffy, but seeing her find happiness with Finn had made him step back. He couldn't bear to get in the way of her happiness, especially when he knew his time was running out. But now, as he faced his own mortality, he realized he needed to speak the truth, if only to let Steffy know how he truly felt. Steffy was overcome with emotion upon hearing Liam's words. She had always known that a part of her heart still belonged to him, but hearing him say it, especially with his time running out, brought a new depth of sorrow and longing. She had long ago made peace with the choices she had made, and she had built a life with Finn, whom she loved deeply. But Liam's confession struck a chord she hadn't anticipated. The sadness of knowing that their love had never fully died, and the reality that Liam would soon be gone, consumed her. Steffy found herself crying as she realized how much she had always wanted to be with Liam, but knew that it was no longer possible. As the conversation continued, Steffy, though heartbroken, made a bold decision. She suggested that they have a wedding. A symbolic wedding, not based on romantic intentions but on the pure need to give Liam the happiness and closure he deserved. She clarified that this would not be a romantic commitment to each other, but rather a way for them to honor the love they had shared in the past. It would be a wedding on paper, a final gesture to make Liam feel complete as he faced the end of his life. She assured Liam that this wouldn't interfere with her life with Finn, as she loved him deeply and did not want to betray him. However, she felt it was the right thing to do for Liam, someone who had meant so much to her and whom she had loved with all her heart. Liam, moved by Steffy's selflessness and understanding, agreed to the plan. He knew it wouldn't change anything in the long run, but it would give him a sense of peace. A moment to share with Steffy that would be their own, one last time. The wedding wouldn't be grand or extravagant. It would be small, intimate, with only a few guests, as they both knew this was more about the significance of the gesture than the spectacle. It would be about honoring their past, their memories, and giving Liam a sense of closure. Finn, despite the emotional weight of the situation, supported Steffy's decision. He understood the gravity of Liam's condition, and knowing that Liam had little time left to live, he couldn't bring himself to stand in the way of this final act of kindness. Finn, who had always been secure in his relationship with Steffy, knew that the wedding wasn't about rekindling a romantic flame between Steffy and Liam, it was simply a chance for them to honor their shared past. He trusted Steffy, and he knew that her heart was with him. With Finn's blessing, the preparations for the wedding began. It was a quiet affair, no grand announcements, no flashy celebrations. Just a few close friends and family who knew the significance of this moment for Steffi and Liam. The ceremony took place in a small, peaceful location, and it felt more like a private moment of reflection than a traditional wedding. Steffi wore a simple white dress, and Liam, though frail, looked every bit the man Steffi had once married. As they stood before the small gathering, exchanging vows, simple words of love and remembrance, it was clear that both of them were deeply moved by the moment. For Steffi, it was a painful reminder of all the love they had shared, and for Liam, it was the chance to be with the woman he still loved, if only for a brief moment. They held hands, eyes locked, both knowing that this would be the last time they would share such a moment together. Steffi, even as she fought back tears, felt a sense of peace knowing that she had done something for Liam, something that would make his final days meaningful. At the ceremony, only a handful of people attended, those who understood the gravity of the moment. Finn, of course, stood by Steffi's side, offering his support. Hope, who was also aware of Liam's terminal condition, was there too, watching the two former lovers come together one last time. Bill, though still struggling with his own grief over Liam's impending death, was there as well, quietly offering his own farewell to the son he had always been proud of. And of course, Steffi's children were present, though the emotional weight of the event was felt more by the adults than the younger ones. As Liam and Steffi exchanged their vows, a sense of bittersweet closure filled the room. It wasn't a wedding in the traditional sense. There was no spark of new love, no promises for the future. But there was something deeply beautiful in the moment, the love that had once existed, the love that still remained, and the love that would never be fully realized. It was a moment of respect, of acknowledgement, and of letting go. The ceremony concluded with soft applause, but there was no celebration. Instead, there was just a quiet sense of peace. Steffi kissed Liam gently on the cheek, and as they shared that moment, it was clear that they both knew what they still had, was enough. It was a moment of finality, a moment of letting go. Afterward, Steffi and Liam shared a private moment, remembering their past, their love, their children. Steffi reassured Liam that she would always be there for him, even if their paths had diverged. She told him she would make sure Beth and Kelly would always remember him, and that his legacy would live on through them. As for Finn, he didn't harbor any jealousy or resentment. He knew that the wedding was not about him or Steffi's feelings for Liam, it was about giving Liam the closure he deserved. He stood by her, supporting her, knowing that their love was secure. In the days that followed, Liam's health continued to deteriorate. The wedding had given him a sense of peace, but the inevitable was drawing near. Steffi spent his final days with him, surrounded by family and friends. As Liam passed away, there was no anger, no regrets, only love, acceptance, and the quiet understanding that life, though fleeting, can be beautiful even in the face of death. In the aftermath, Steffi, Finn, and Hope all took their time to mourn Liam's passing. The pain was deep, but the bond they shared was unbreakable. Steffi and Finn's relationship only grew stronger as they leaned on each other, and Hope honored Liam's memory by ensuring that Beth would always know who her father was. Next, we will explore the sizzling undercurrents of romance and danger brewing in the glamorous yet tumultuous world of the bold and the beautiful. We're diving deep into Brooke Logan's latest escapades as she navigates the choppy waters of love after her storied relationship with Ridge Forrester seemingly reaches a dead end. With old flames flickering and perilous rivalries on the horizon, Brooke's next move could ignite a firestorm of drama, especially with Deacon Sharp and the notorious Sheila Carter in the mix. Buckle up as we unpack the potential for a steamy reunion, the risks of crossing a dangerous adversary, and the chaos that could unfold on the canvas of Los Angeles. Brooke's heart in limbo, a shift from Ridge. Brooke Logan, the perennial queen of romance and scandal on The Bold and the Beautiful, is no stranger to the highs and lows of love triangles that captivate and confound. Yet, in a twist that has fans buzzing, Ridge Forrester has turned his affections back to Taylor Hayes, leaving Brooke out in the emotional cold at least for the moment. The once unbreakable bond of Bridge appears to have crumbled, a reality that even the most hopeful viewers must acknowledge. Picture Brooke gazing out over the city from her balcony at the Forrester mansion, a glass of wine in hand, as she reflects on countless memories with Ridge weddings under sunlit skies and whispered promises now seemingly lost to time. But Brooke isn't one to wallow in heartbreak, her resilient spirit refuses to let rejection define her. With Ridge's heart elsewhere, she's poised to turn the page on this chapter, her eyes scanning the horizon for a new romantic adventure that could reignite her passion. A door to Deacon, rekindling an old flame. When one romantic chapter closes for Brooke, another enticing possibility often emerges from the shadows of her past. Enter Deacon Sharp, a man who has long held a torch for Brooke, his feelings simmering beneath the surface even through years of separation and other entanglements. Their history is laced with undeniable chemistry, a magnetic pull that has never truly faded, evident in stolen glances and lingering touches during chance encounters at Il Giardino. Imagine Brooke bumping into Deacon at a local art gallery opening, their conversation effortlessly slipping into familiar banter, a spark of mischief in their eyes as they reminisce over shared escapades from decades past. Could this be the doorway to a rekindled romance? Deacon, with his rugged charm and unwavering admiration for Brooke, represents a comforting yet thrilling option for her restless heart, a chance to rediscover a connection that once burned bright. The potential for stolen moments behind closed doors or flirty exchanges over coffee could set the stage for a passionate reunion. Sheila Carter, the dangerous obstacle in Brooke's path. However, any path back to Deacon comes with a formidable and deadly roadblock. Sheila Carter, the infamous she-devil who currently claims Deacon as her husband. Sheila is not merely a scorned lover, she's a force of chaos with a history of violence and obsession, having committed heinous acts over far lesser provocations than a romantic rival. If Brooke dares to flirt with Deacon, she's not just risking nostalgic heartstrings being tugged. She's stepping into a lion's den, challenging a woman whose jealousy knows no bounds. Envision Sheila overhearing a playful exchange between Brooke and Deacon at a Forrester event, her eyes narrowing with lethal intent as she grips a champagne flute a little too tightly, plotting her next move. Sheila's past suggests she'd stop at nothing to protect what she considers hers, whether through manipulation, threats, or darker deeds. Brooke's fearless pursuit of love could place her squarely in Sheila's crosshairs, setting up a showdown that promises to be as explosive as it is dangerous. Brooke's bold gamble, fearless in the face of love. Would Brooke truly take such a perilous leap into Deacon's orbit, knowing the wrath of Sheila awaits? Without a doubt, she would. Brooke Logan has never shied away from following her heart, no matter the consequences. And with Ridge out of the romantic picture for now, she might fling caution to the wind. Her audacity in matters of love is legendary, often leading her into stormy waters but also defining her as a woman unafraid to seize happiness. Picture Brooke slipping into a stunning emerald dress for a charity gala, her confidence radiating as she locks eyes with Deacon across the room, fully aware of Sheila's icy stare from a nearby corner. This potential reunion isn't just about rediscovering passion, it's a bold statement of Brooke's refusal to be sidelined, a declaration that her story is far from over. The mere hint of flirtation could send shockwaves through the social circles of Los Angeles, rekindling old alliances and enmities in equal measure. A triangle turned square, chaos on the canvas. A Brooke-Deacon reunion would do more than turn up the heat. It could transform the entire narrative landscape of the bold and the beautiful into a chaotic square of desire and danger. With Sheila as the volatile fourth corner, alongside Brooke, Deacon, and the lingering shadow of Ridge, the tension would be palpable. Imagine the sparks flying at a high-stakes dinner party hosted at the Forrester estate, where witty barbs between Brooke and Sheila cut through the air like daggers, each smile masking a deeper threat. The potential for wild twists, perhaps Sheila orchestrating a public humiliation for Brooke, or Deacon caught in a tug-of-war of loyalties, would keep viewers on the edge of their seats. This evolving dynamic could also draw in other characters, like Hope Logan wrestling with her mother's choices or Taylor weighing in with her own history with Deacon, adding layers of intrigue to an already combustible mix. Brooke versus Sheila, an epic showdown awaits. If there's anyone who can stand toe-to-toe with the infamous Sheila Carter, it's Brooke Logan, a veteran of romantic and personal battles. Their impending clash could be the spark that fans have been craving, a battle of wits and wills between two iconic powerhouses. Visualize a confrontation at a secluded spot near the beach, waves crashing as Brooke asserts her right to pursue happiness, while Sheila's voice drips with menace, warning of dire consequences. This rivalry could unfold over weeks, with calculated moves and wicked words exchanged in boardrooms, boutiques, and backrooms alike. Brooke's resilience and cunning matched against Sheila's ruthless unpredictability would make for must-watch television, a showdown where every episode feels like a chess match with life-or-death stakes. Pass the wine, indeed, because this storyline is gearing up to be nothing short of wild. Next, we will immerse ourselves in the deeply emotional and dramatic developments unfolding on The Bold and the Beautiful. We're diving into a heart-wrenching conversation at the Cliff House between Steffy Forrester and Liam Spencer, where the weight of his terminal condition casts a shadow over their every word. Simultaneously, a pivotal moment at Brooke's house sees Carter Walton pleading for a second chance with Hope Logan. With raw emotions, painful secrets, and flickering hopes for reconciliation, this week's episodes promise to tug at our heartstrings. Join us as we explore these intense interactions with fresh details and imagine scenarios that amplify the stakes in Los Angeles. Steffy's concern and Liam's defiant hope at the Cliff House. Under the somber glow of twilight at the Cliff House, Steffy Forrester gazes at Liam Spencer with eyes full of worry, her voice trembling as she confesses her fear that they haven't done enough to fight his medical condition. Despite exhaustive searches, no specialist has offered a lifeline for his inoperable diagnosis, a reality that gnaws at her. Liam, however, clings to a fragile optimism, his tone resolute as he reminds her, "I'm still here, Steffy. I've got time left to live, to do things that matter." Picture him sitting on the weathered couch overlooking the ocean, a faint smile masking the pain as he reaches for her hand, determined to focus on life rather than impending loss. His decision to conceal his illness from others stems from a desperate desire to preserve their happiness, a selfless act that led him to push Hope Logan back toward Carter Walton. As a sudden headache grips him, he winces audibly, murmuring "ow," before shifting the conversation to Hope's faded spark since her split with Carter, a dimming of her vibrant spirit that he feels partly responsible for. Liam's wish for happiness amidst pain. Continuing their poignant exchange, Liam reflects on Hope's past with Carter, attributing their breakup to external pressures rather than a lack of love. He muses aloud, his voice soft yet earnest, that true joy is the ultimate purpose of life, and all he craves is to see those he loves basking in it. Imagine the ocean breeze wafting through the open window, carrying his bittersweet words as he imagines Hope laughing again, free from sorrow. Steffy, moved by his unwavering care for Hope, nods with admiration, though her heart aches with the secret she believes must be shared. She gently presses that Hope deserves the truth about his condition, a revelation Liam fears could shatter their daughter Beth's innocent world. His resolve hardens as he admits he would have hidden this even from Steffy if possible, a confession that paints his isolation in stark relief. Picture Steffy's eyes glistening as she counters that Kelly, their daughter, must be prepared for the inevitable, a task neither wants to face but one that looms ever closer. Liam's quest for redemption and shared memories. Liam's determination to shield his loved ones from grief is matched only by his need to mend past wounds. He insists on handling his diagnosis on his own terms, a final act of control in a situation spiraling beyond it. With a heavy heart, he tells Steffy this is his last chance to heal the rifts he's caused between her and Hope, to forge peace where once there was conflict. His voice cracks as he recounts cherished memories, their wild adventures, moments of triumph and tenderness that defined their bond. Steffy, tears streaking down her cheeks, clings to one recollection in particular, the harrowing time Liam vanished, leaving her to fear the worst, only to reunite in a slow-motion embrace on a sun-drenched beach. Envision the flashback unfolding on screen, their younger selves running toward each other, waves crashing as a symbol of enduring connection, before the present-day scene cuts back to their tearful acknowledgement of all they've endured together. This shared history underscores Liam's urgency to leave a legacy of harmony, not discord. Carter's plea for reconciliation at Brooke's house. Meanwhile, across town at Brooke's house, another emotional crossroads emerges as Carter Walton stands before Hope Logan, his heart laid bare in a plea for reconciliation. The tension in the air is palpable as he urges her to return to him, to cast aside the bitter business disputes that tore them apart, namely, his unilateral decision to return control of Forrester Creations to the family without consulting her. Picture Carter, dressed impeccably yet with a vulnerable edge, standing in the cozy warmth of Brooke's living room, his hands gesturing earnestly as he promises to right every wrong. "We can focus on us, on our love," he insists, his eyes searching hers for a flicker of the trust they once shared. The weight of their separation hangs heavy. Carter confesses how much he loathes being apart from her, each day without Hope feeling like an eternity. Equals.